Alright, everybody. You're back. Last session, you all said your farewells in Baldur's Gate, met the individual who was soon to take command over the city, one Liara Porter. While she did not exactly seem to be a very nice person, she seemed like she would do a good job if left in charge of the city, and so leaving the city in good hands, you all departed from Baldur's Gate and began making your way southward towards Candlekeep. In the company of Alistair Fisk, a spy from the Great Library who had been sent into the Van Thamper Villa in search of a puzzle box was accompanying you all. He informed you all that the puzzle box that was in Thirstwell Van Thamper's possession likely belonged to Thavius Creed, and was very likely to contain within it whatever deal he struck with the Dark Lords of Avernus that caused Elturel to be pulled into the first layer of Hell. So, traveling southward, you were waylaid about halfway through your journey by a trio of devils, winged beasts who you saw once before, just outside of the High Hall of Wonder after they had burned it to the ground. These creatures taunted you with revelations that the loved ones that you sought were already dead, that the city of Elturel had already been pulled into the River Styx, and that you were too late and that you were questing for nothing. Not heeding these words, believing them to be the simple lies of evil creatures, you pressed onward after sending these beasts scurrying back into the darkness. That is where we pick up today. You are in the company of Alistair Fisk and Rhea Mantlemorn, as well as the five of you, of course, and you are on the road southward towards Candlekeep, hopefully in search of answers and a way to reach Elturel. So, is there anything that you all would like to do on the way? You have about another day of hard riding ahead of you, at the end of which you are likely to reach Candlekeep.
I do know the next long rest we take, I would like to do the arcane firearm thing to put the sigils into my staff.
Okay, so we can assume a long rest happened right after your encounter with the three devils. So, anything that you all would like to do during that long rest, you are more than welcome to go ahead and take care of now. Make sure that your character sheets are long rested and back up to full resources and all that good stuff.
I do feel like Anna is probably, getting a little more frantic. It's been over a week at this point.
It has now been
right?
8 days. That was the
Yeah.
end of the 8th day.
So there's lots of praying, lots of, intense glaive motions.
Angry glaive noises.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Angry mama bear, panicky mama bear.
Okay.
Hmm.
Rhea has been very quiet since leaving Baldur's Gate. She hasn't said much. She told you the story of the Hell Riders last session, and that's really the most that she's spoken since leaving Baldur's Gate. And since the taunting of the fiends, she has said nothing.
Tiberius will sit there near her and just ask her what she's thinking.
She kind of has her brow furrowed, and she would say that regardless of whatever these creatures are telling her, she knows in her heart that Elturel still stands, and she can actually feel a pull towards Candlekeep. She feels the pull towards Elturel itself, but knowing that Candlekeep is the journey, is the way to it, she almost feels like a physical pull towards it. Bucky, if you were in earshot of her saying that, it would resonate with you. You can feel it as well. Having sworn your oaths to defend Elturel as a Hell Rider, you would very much feel that as well. And when she says a physical pull, that really clicks. It's something that you've been feeling as well, especially since you left Baldur's Gate. Just like a tugging southward, as if something was kind of just pulling on your heartstrings, dragging you towards Candlekeep.
Do either of you know what could be causing this sort of pull?
Ryu would shake her
know
head.
much of anything.
Well, maybe it has some. Well, if it was Bucky alone feeling that, I would have suspected it might have something to do with the various paladin oaths that he has sworn.
Or the shield. But no.
When you say or think that, Bucky, if you said it out loud, the shield would respond, "I would not lead you astray, brother."
Got a little Hulk Hogan.
Brother.
Brother. I can't help but think of the fucking moth.
Brother.
Brother.
R.I.P.
Well, in any case, we will be there with it. We will be there soon.
Hell yeah, brother. Right.
We need to get to the city. That's all there is to it.
Rhea would give one quick nod and then get up and begin packing her stuff for the long ride ahead, another hard day of travel. Ferris, you were saying that there was some things you wanted to do during a long rest.
Eats. Oof, jeez. Yeah, we're gonna do the arcane firearm.
Okay.
Here we go. And so you would go and inscribe. What was the word it said on those?
Basically, you get to add a D8 to any artificer spell that you send through the firearm.
Yep. Which I've already been sending all my spells through that anyway, so.
Does make your artificer cantrips hit just a touch harder too, which is a nice thing when you're at.
Definitely. Oh, reliable ray of frost.
Pew pew.
Gonna get just a tad bit colder.
Brother.
Anywhere between 1 and 8 points colder.
Hey, it's at least 8 points at most. Always
Right.
extra is good.
Find a way to throw a debuff on there so it's 0 to 7, just for the lulz.
Haha.
Okay. So, that having been done, is there anything else that you all would be doing on your journey to Candlekeep?
Remind me what books we have again. One was like bedtime stories from the Hell Riders. The other was
Last Charge of the Hell Riders and Apocalypto.
We also have.
I want to read
Um,
Apocalypto.
I would be reading or trying to just find any patterns in Duke Van Thamper's Little Black Book with all the names and the black coins. Any patterns I can figure out.
I am more curious about the. I'm more curious about the journal that. Oh, basically the Hellrider General that was working with Van Thamper.
Gideon Lightward's name was in the book. At a very high value as well. So, I believe that it is safe to say that your previous investigations have revealed everything that there is to know about those ledgers. Any further poring over them, would just yield more of the same. More
Okay.
names of prominent Hell Riders would likely be in there. None more so than Gideon Lightward, and none nearly as valuable to whoever was jotting it down or keeping track. All right.
What was he worth
Good.
again? Like 16?
Yeah, crazy high number.
He was worth 6, and then Olanthius,
Olanthius, yes.
Olanthius was worth 12 coins, and he was one of the last Hell Riders that was part of what's her face's group?
Zariel.
Daria. That kind of got stuck in hell. That never came back.
Gotcha.
One of the 12. Or part of the 12.
Okay. So, over the past couple of days, the weather along the Sword Coast has gotten gradually worse. Dark clouds releasing heavy rain until the road runs thick with mud. Your horses trudging on through it, you all trudging on through it, passing by friendly merchant caravans, peeling out of the way of you all rushing down the coastway. On nearing the evening of this day, the 8th day since El Terrell fell, rain subsides, but the clouds remain. Ahead, you see a path branch from the right from the wider road heading to the sea. A raven perches solemnly on a leaning post bearing 2 signs that point like arms towards the west. One says the Way of the Lion, the other says Candlekeep. Heading west along the Way of the Lion towards the fortress library, eventually, the late afternoon sun begins to shine through the clouds to illuminate the gray walls and pale spires of a time-worn fortress. Several of you have likely seen Candlekeep in the past. But for some of you, this is probably the first time seeing it. The Fortress Library is a landmark of the Sword Coast. Scholars and wizards and other individuals seeking knowledge come from all over the Sword Coast to tap into the library's vast resources. See this fortress standing majestically atop a rocky promontory overlooking the sea. The trail leads straight to it. At the gatehouse, you are all greeted by 3 monks in purple robes, a human, a shield dwarf, and a sun elf. Around their necks hang holy symbols of Denir, the god of writing, whose symbol is a lit candle above an open eye. "Welcome to Candlekeep," says the elf in common. "A gift is required from those seeking admittance. You must donate a book or a scroll that isn't already in the library's archives. Present your gift for inspection."
Well, we were told that it was Apocalypto. Correct was the one that we were.
And the Hell
Using-
Rider book, I think. We're both going.
Was it both of them?
I think so. Because there's
Okay.
a few of us, 4 of us.
Paris,
What?
was I the one that had the books?
No,
Like-
I have Apocalypto. I think Bucky had the Hell Rider book.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna pull out Apocalypto and hand it over.
Okay. So they look it over, and they say... The elf kind of looks it over and hands it to the shield dwarf, who inspects it and says, "Ah, yes. A 2nd edition of Apocalypto. We only have the 1st. This will do nicely." And he passes it over to the next, who also inspects it, and they say, "You may enter. Only 1 book is required for the lot of you."
Oh, good. Then Bucky can keep his bedtime stories.
Rude.
No, I think they're important.
Wow.
Wow.
Some like Definitely
Wow.
Hollow's type
A lot of
significance
shade
there.
being thrown around Bucky.
All right. So, you
Isn't
all
that
cross
what they
into
say,
the
bedtime
Port
story?
of Air. So, as you all enter in, you enter into a wide open courtyard. There is several spherical structures to the right of you as you enter in. Candles are beginning to be lit in the windows, and Fallister says, "Follow me. I can get us all past the Emerald Door, and as long as I'm escorting you, I can get you straight to Silvira's study." Are you all ready to proceed?
As quickly as you can.
Yes.
Yep.
So, Fallister leads you through the library. You see various people, all different ages, all types of people wandering through here. Adventurers. You see several people that look about as prepared as you are for any sort of trouble or action. Adventures abound here in Candlekeep. But once you get past the Emerald Gate and into the library proper, all you see, for the most part, is brown-robed Avowed. The librarians of Candlekeep, if you will. So, leading you all towards the massive central towers of Candlekeep, Baldur Fix tells you that Silvira's tower is right this way, and leads you into a extremely tall tower. The walls of the circular tower chamber are punctuated by arched windows that are currently all shuttered. Bookcases filled with eldritch volumes stand between the windows. You pass through several different rooms on your way up the tower, filled with specimen jars and all kinds of other things.
Is she in exaltation?
Her tower would actually be back here somewhere, in these
Oh,
abouts.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, eventually, Baldur leads you into a room crowded with tables, loaded up with all kinds of alchemical equipment and all kinds of other clutter. Engraved into the floor of this chamber is a large, 9-pointed star. There's a middle-aged tiefling woman dressed in wizardly robes standing by one of the windows, caught in the fugue of intense contemplation. Perched on the corner of a table nearby is a spindly little demon with warty green skin, buggy eyes, thin black horns, and a whip-like tail. A tiefling woman spins to see you. Says, "It's wonderful to see you all. Fallister informed me that you all would be arriving. Can't tell you how pleased I am to see you. What have you brought for me?"
What's with the demon?
"Oh, this one." She points at the little green fucker.
When he's just staring at it.
She says, "That's Jezebel, my familiar." They are common familiars. Have you never seen one before? Jezebel, show them. And Jezebel gets up, does a little walk up to the edge of the table, and does a deep bow. Silvira says, "Now, mind you, those responsible for dragging Elturel were devils. Jezebel here is a demon, quite different. If it would make you more comfortable, we can dismiss her for the time being."
We have also encountered devils on the way here to Candlekeep. So perhaps dismissing her may be the most prudent course of action for the time being.
Silvira nods, says, "Jezebel?" And Jezebel kind of does a little bit of another bowing flourish and folds up into herself and vanishes.
How do we know that she's not just invisible?
She's a familiar. I have dismissed her.
You'll have to forgive us. We're having a sort of bad experience with all things infernal at the moment, yourself excluded.
Her eyebrow kind of raises when you say that. So then, you've brought me something.
I'm gonna reach down to my armor and pull out the box.
She
We're
takes it.
hoping there's some answers here to get our home back.
She turns it over in her hands, inspecting it. She says, "Yes. Very, very well made. I would ask you if you had tried to open it, but if you had, you'd likely be dead, so I'm assuming that you haven't."
We were warned.
Rightfully so. I will need a few hours with this. And you believe this to be the box in the possession of Thavius Krieg? She looks towards Baldur, who gives a nod. Very well. The library is yours. I will grant you all full access to our archives. I recommend you spend the time that you have preparing. The journey you are about to undertake is not for the light-hearted or the unprepared.
Any specific recommendations for preparations you could give us?
I would recommend reading up on the fiends of the Nine Hells. Not to be confused with demons. These creatures are cunning, intelligent, and convincing. That would be where I would start.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Also, if there's any text on the river Styx.
Yeah.
Paris would be intrigued in finding any text on the I keep forgetting what it's called every time. It was the cage.
Companion?
Oh, the
Yes,
the
the companion.
I'd want to read up on the history of the companion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
Ferris is
interesting.
very interested in that.
Winnie would be one feeding slobber chops little pieces of bacon this
Mm.
entire time, not talking. But she would probably follow Anna to study like the river Styx, anything about fiends. I think Tibbs is also going that direction. So I would be with them researching that. Researching anything about the Hellriders that got stuck down there.
They have some form of Xerox at Candlekeep.
You can actually head over to the Pillars of Pedagogy, and any volumes that you need copied, they can copy for you there. At the House of Binding. God, it feels like we spent so long at Candlekeep, but the last like 20 sessions or so of Candlekeep, we did not touch the library. It feels like.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. But yes, you can have anything that you need copied for you.
Fantastic. Are we successful in finding stuff on fiends and kind of all the stuff we asked about? Or
Okay, so Sylvira would most certainly be able to direct you towards the sections of the libraries where you could find that kind of information. She would have Fallister kind of show you around, make sure that you're not wasting any time. So let's go ahead and get investigation checks from everybody that is currently doing a medieval Google search.
Oof, this is gonna be rough.
I almost want to take my inspiration right now because I feel like info will be important.
I would take. This is me personally. I would take it. Anything info related, I would 100% take it. And I can.
I'd like my crit, please.
It's up to you though.
No,
Don't.
I was saying. I'm like it definitely struck me that we're gonna need information.
Yeah, with a crit, I would say probably take it.
Okay, sounds like that's what we're doing. So, okay, so anyone else using their inspiration for this?
I will do so just to move the needle away from the 14 to a 19.
Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is each of you Bucky.
Yeah.
Bucky's book is upside down. It's written in some,
talking to him.
it's written in some arcane gibberish.
Guys,
Turns the book upside
he's
down.
doing his best.
It's a picture book.
That is
Yeah,
not.
Look,
No.
I imagine the shield trying to talk to him every time he's reading. It's like, won't you just shut up, Hulk Hogan? I'm trying to read this.
See, and that oddly is not the worst investigation roll I've ever seen.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. Ace and I were in a campaign where our paladin had a -1 on intelligence and rolled 1. So they
Nice.
had a 0
Zero.
on reading a map.
Is that Eliona? Yeah, poor Ellie.
That's awesome.
We determined she
Oh,
was
that's
holding
so
it face down.
Nice.
Oh,
This map is blank. What sorcery is at work? All right. So, Winnie, what were you looking into?
I was looking into Zariel and the Hell Riders that never made it out. See if there's anything about them, any names that I can cross-reference with the tome we found.
So you find quite a few volumes on Zariel, on the Hell Riders specifically. With a 14, you find one particular volume about the sacking of, what was the city called? Oh, I have to remember this. The sacking of Idle Glen. It is with the 14, that is one of the things that you find. You find a few different things about Zariel. Most of what you find is stuff that you already knew, or at least assumed you knew. That Zariel was a angel of Lathander, a fervent fighter of all things demonic, very zealous, very righteous. Those are mostly what you find. As far as the Hell Riders, you find their history. These are basically, the gist of it is that you're finding a lot of stuff that you already knew, nothing that contradicts what you already thought about. You do, however, with the 14, discover a volume on the sacking of Idle Glen. It is the story, the retelling, the history of a town that was besieged by gnolls and minions of the Demon Lord, Inago.
You put that name in chat.
Inago, yes.
You said it was a town overrun by gnolls.
By gnolls. God, did I spell that right? Who fucking knows? I'll check. Demon names. Holy shit, I did spell it right. Fuck. Okay.
Yanogo?
Yanogu.
No, Yanogu. Okay.
God bless you.
Yeah, that's a fucking name, ain't it?
The way I'm gonna put it in my journal first, so I know how to pronounce it, is no go, like goo, Goo.
The phonetic pronunciation is Yinagu.
Ye na. Okay, hold on.
Here, I'll do this. There it is.
Got it. Thank you.
Nag.
Nag. Yinag. Yinaghu.
Yaneg.
God damn it. Okay, we're being serious. This is serious time.
Serious.
If we're too serious,
very
I'll cry.
serious.
So tell me more about Yaneg.
I think we're just hoping for where because we know where we're going.
Okay, so Inagu's not a uncommon thing. Anyone proficient in religion, history, or arcana has likely heard the name before. A very powerful demon lord, regarded widely as the god of senseless slaughter, or the demon lord of senseless slaughter, I should say. So the book that you find is a very detailed retelling of that event, when Yinogu and his armies sieged the small town of Idle Glen and nearly wiped it off the map. Several waves, it took several days of fighting before Zariel herself arrived on the scene, riding a resplendent golden mammoth, struck down Yinogu, and sent him reeling back into the abyss. It was shortly after this event that Zariel decided that the forces of demonkind would not be stopped here in the material plane, and that she would follow them wherever they went. The siege of Idleglen is what prompted Zariel to go into Avernus looking for the fight, instead of waiting for it to come to her.
Interesting.
So, Anna, we will get to you last, since your crit will obviously yield the most information. Ferris, what were you researching?
Any information on the companion?
On the companion. Okay. With a 13, unfortunately, you are also getting more of the same. The information and the history of the companion starts, at least from what you can find, starts on the day that you knew it to arrive above Elturel. It is always lauded that Thavius Krieg, the hero of Elturel, was responsible for its summoning, and it was his unwavering devotion to Lathander, Torm, and the other gods of light and good that summoned it into existence.
That's a typical propaganda. Then.
Exactly. You get the party line. Yeah, nothing
Question,
contradicting.
GM.
Go ahead.
For like in-game knowledge, when was the companion brought in? Was that before or after Zariel rode to Avernus?
It was well after. Zariel rode into Avernus
after?
over 100 years ago.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
No, yeah, totally. It's a good thing to have the timeline worked out in that way. So yeah, Zariel and her ride, which would also include the book you found on Idleglen, all of that happened about 150 years ago. It was over a century ago that this happened.
Wait a minute. Isn't Thavius human?
Thavius is human. Thavius Krieg and the deal that he made for the companion was 50 years ago. 50 years to the day.
Oh, gotcha.
50
Okay.
years to the day that Elturel was taken. Okay.
So it's been about 200 years since Zariel rode into Avernus, right?
Correct.
Okay. Timeline stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, bless you, Mel, for taking notes the way you do.
It's the lore nerd in me.
The lore nerd. The lore nerd is what got me into the frickin' hundreds of dollar hobby that is Warhammer 40k.
That is why I will not do that. I don't have that type of money.
I really don't either, but yeah. Okay, so Tibbs, what you researching?
Tibbs was researching a bit about well, a lot of it's just about what sort of demon lords demon and devil lords we could expect to be encountering.
Okay.
The Fiend.
So with a 13,
Yeah.
Well,
I did take.
you took the 19. Fantastic. Okay.
I will.
Good.
I will admit it was partially because I was like, ooh, we all rolled low, so I wanted to try.
No.
I thought we were averaging it
so-
too, but I still want to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. A 19 is definitely good to have, and especially since it sounds like you were just researching the general populace of Avernus. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Pretty much.
That
I
is.
want to know
okay.
I want to know what enemies I might be facing.
Excellent. Fantastic. So with a 19, you learn a lot. We're level 5 right now, so 19 is high. So you get a decent amount of stuff out of that. First and foremost, you learn the basics, right? Avernus, all of Avernus is the first layer of the 9 hells. It is the entry point. It is basically where all evil souls go once they pass, unless some sort of action is taken to prevent that soul from entering into Avernus. Any lawful evil soul is transferred into that plane. Again, I'm gonna drive home the difference between demons and devils. It is a very important distinction that will come up a lot when you get into Avernus. There will be both demons and devils in Avernus. Choosing the right ones to interact with or to kill on sight will be very important, and that is the first line of defense, is knowing which ones are demons and which ones are devils. And on that note, Avernus is a populated place. With a 19, you would learn that it is not just an endless sea of fire and brimstone where everything is hell and everything is everything is out to try and kill you. With a 19, you discover many different volumes on people that have traveled to Avernus, did some shopping, and then came home. You know, like, it is a place that people go to willingly. It is a place that individuals live now. Granted, the type of people that would choose to live in Avernus, probably not very nice, but it still happens. There are hags, namely night hags, call Avernus home. A lot of them feel that Avernus is their home, that the other planes of existence are like their townhomes, right? Their little vacation spots. So night hags are plenty there. They form one of the lower levels of bureaucracy, right below the demon lord, right before the devil lords. You would of course learn about resistances to fire and all sort of things like that. You would also, with a 19, learn that any demons that you encountered in Avernus are going to be resistant, if not flat out immune, to elemental forms of damage. Lightning, cold, fire.
And that was demons?
Demons. Devils, it's just fire.
Cool. Anna's useless.
Granted, though, Anna, what do you think they're going to be primarily using against you?
Hooray.
Yeah, it balances out. You'll both be just slapping each other with wet paper towels.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And there is also the fact that some of our spells are radiant as opposed to fire.
Mm-hmm.
They may look like fire, but they deal radiant damage.
Mm-hmm.
And you said they're immune, right?
Yes.
So
many of them, especially the more powerful ones.
Tibbs is glad that Ferris has his little ballistas.
Yep.
So, furthermore, Tiberius, with a 19, you would learn that the Archduke of Avernus is named Bel. With a 19. Tiberius, give me a flat D20 check. This is like hidden lore shit. Okay,
I
so...
suspect I do not know it.
Yes, okay. You were not able to discover anything further than that. The last known Archduke of Avernus was a pit fiend by the name of Bel. Extraordinarily powerful. You would know that Tiamat herself is imprisoned on Avernus. That is another thing that you would be able to learn.
Are you sure you want to keep wearing the crown, honey?
Yes. I feel. Well, listen. Maybe we can make a deal. She helps us. She can have her shit back.
That's a conversation I'm excited to see.
Tibbs had just stared into the distance, considering the odds of just a regular young adult dragon agreeing to this deal, and comparing this to the goddess of chromatic dragons.
I guess the other choice is that she lets us, we tell everyone that we got the better of her and we got her shit. This is Ace, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Anna's just reading. She's reading very intently.
Got it.
Good to know.
Alright. So Tiamat is locked in Avernus. Pit Fiend Bel is the ruler of Avernus. Am I missing anything else?
That he was the last known rule.
Last known, okay.
I got a feeling it is probably an area we don't necessarily get the most. Tibbs figures that there's probably going to be some information that is out of date, because this does not seem like a place people run to very often.
Mordenkainen. Most of the data, most of the books that you are given to as credible sources are written by Mordenkainen in his first-hand accounts of the plane.
Mm. But that leads, of course, to the question, is a wizard going to say everything he knows in a book?
Indeed. Okay, so Anna, we are coming back to you. But overall, the number one thing that you all learn about Avernus as you're doing your research, the biggest thing, the recurring theme, is that there is an endless war underway in Avernus. An endless war between devils and demons. They fight each other throughout the plane at every opportunity, and they essentially keep each other in check. The endless hordes of demons pouring out of the river Styx and other portal ways into Avernus splash upon the wall of spears, horns, and teeth that is devil-kind. The demons seek to overrun Avernus, to overrun all of the Nine Hells, but simply as a stepping stone to get to the material plane. The devils almost do a service to mortal kind by protecting their plane so vehemently, because if they were to ever fail, demons would spill across the planes and envelop the material plane. That is the number one thing that you're constantly... A lot of you probably have heard of this before, in passing, especially, again, anyone proficient in religion or history. This would have been part of your studies when you were younger. It is known as the Blood War, and it is endless, and it is crucial to the survival of all. This war has been going on for basically as long as the planes have existed, and it will continue until the planes cease to exist or until one side is victorious. And nobody wants that. Demons proving victorious would see them pouring into the material plane in numbers that could never be stopped, and an infernal victory, a victory by the devils, would see all of humanity and every other race subjugated under their iron thumb once their resources weren't so tied up in stopping demons from overrunning their plane. So definitely something that would have kept recurring over and over again in your research.
So it's a balancing act.
Yes.
Okay.
They keep each other in check. Anna, what were you researching?
I was looking at information for the river Styx, and she told us to look at fiends.
Fantastic. So as far as fiends go, fiends in general, there are many different varieties. And even the lowliest dregs of the fiendish armies can be raised up and turned into further... climb up the ranks. There's various different castes, various different ranks, and they are all directly subject to whoever is above them in rank. There is no question, there is no democracy. It is whoever is above you on the totem pole gets to tell you what to do, and that is that, full stop. Very hierarchical.
Hierarchy.
Yeah, there's a hierarchy.
Hierarchical.
My brain kept wanting to say hierarchical, but that did not sound right coming out. Alright, so that, in addition to what Tiberius was learning and figuring out, would be the main thing that you would get on the Fiend specifically, but you do find a trove of knowledge on the River Styx. The waters of the River Styx are... enchanted would be a vast understatement. They are a medium that travels between all of the different planes of existence. The River Styx travels through all 9 layers of the 9 hells, as well as through every one of the infinite numbers of planes of the abyss. It also travels through the material planes. Some think in the Underdark, some think it'll never be found. But the gist of it is that the River Styx flows through all planes. All planes of existence have the River Styx flowing through them at some point, and they carry the souls. It carries the souls from one plane to the next, transits them from one place to another. And the main thing that you discover, something that you only found in a small journal of one of Mordenkainen's assistants, who had been tasked with studying the River Styx. The journal starts off by describing it as the place that most demons flow out and into Avernus from. The author describes her experiences in sitting atop a hill and just watching demons pour out of the River Styx and out onto the open fields of Avernus. The author also details the strange properties that the water has on mortal beings. It can steal your memories from you. The entire bottom of the river Styx is what's known as dream silt. It is a material that is made up of the memories and experiences of all those who pass through it. Drinking the water from the river Styx can have short-term memory erasive properties, while being submerged in it can destroy your mind utterly. It is often used for various potions and other things. It's a very valuable substance, although very difficult to handle. Even a splash on yourself can wipe your memory for days or weeks. And of course, being fully submerged in it can prove devastating. Being subjected to enough of it can leave your mind irreparably broken.
So noted and Xeroxed.
So no free diving.
No free diving.
Not recommended.
Now, what if you don't have much of a brain to begin with?
Well, mechanically,
Lucky.
mechanically, you are subjected to the effects of a feeble mind spell if you are submerged in it.
Ah.
Yes. So, quite devastating.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Is it possible to bottle it?
Yes. Extremely dangerous to do, though. In fact, some of your research also showed it being weaponized in Avernus. Loaded up into sprayers.
Boo.
That was kind of along the lines I was going with it, actually. Not the sprayer part, but weaponizing it.
You're gonna accidentally feeble mind yourself. It's gonna be hilarious.
I can maybe make a contraption to do it, or maybe I could have the bird do it. It's a machine.
Okay, team.
I can even have.
So, can mortals or humans or whatever variation thereupon use the river Styx to like travel?
Yes, there are ferrymen that can take you from one end to the other. Boatmen, fiends, of course, but for the agreed upon price. They will ferry you around.
Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, that is another thing. Now that you mention it, that it reminds me. Lawful is the name of the game in Avernus, right? Everything is strictly regimented. All deals are ironclad. If you have written it down anywhere, if you have shaken on it and said, this deal is bound by this handshake, or anything along those lines, those deals are iron, right? They cannot be broken, except through extreme magical means and intervention. Yeah, devils are regularly tapped by warlocks and other individuals seeking power because their deals can be, while trusted is not exactly the right word, what you see on the paper is what you get when making a deal with one of these creatures.
And that's why the
Always read your contract.
people we fought, I can't remember their names now, Van Campers.
The Van Thampers, yep.
Thought they had a chance. They had a contract.
They had a deal. They did.
So from what we're reading, we may actually good.
Y'all.
They can get what's coming to them a second time around.
Okay. Anything else you all would like to research?
I have a quick question, and
Of
this
course.
is, again, the lore nerd. In between Demon Lord Yanogu attacking and Zariel riding to Avernus for the first and I guess final time, how long apart from those two events happening was I able to get that with my 14?
It is unclear. Yeah, I think so. It could have been the same day. It could have been days or weeks or months later. The author does not specify.
killed beast. That was it.
Okay.
Have there been have there been clerics who have gone into Avernus? Like, have people gone before and come back, like, other than Mordecai?
So, yes, is the short answer to your question. Adventurers have made quests and journeys to Avernus to rescue those that have been taken there, chasing down fiends who have wronged them, so on and so forth. It has been done.
So there are documented entrances and exits.
A plane shift spell will get you there. Problem is getting you exactly where you want to go.
Right on. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, travel to and from Avernus isn't exactly hard. Right now, dragging a whole city to the plane, that was something. That was a real work. But individuals traveling to and from Avernus is not normal, but certainly not unheard of.
Are there people in Candlekeep right now trying to figure out how they dragged the whole city to hell?
Yes, Silvira would be leading up that charge.
That was actually going to be my question for investigation. Any books on spells involving moving large amounts of mass from one place to another?
From what you've seen, what was your roll again?
13.
13. Okay. Yeah, nothing that you find is even hints at anything being powerful enough to drag an entire plane in, or an entire city and surrounding areas. Definitely no spells. If you were to question the Avowed, they would probably direct you towards the ancient Netherese, and books about them, as they were the only ones known to have been able to cast spells of 10th level and higher, mechanically speaking. But those were made impossible when they broke magic. So yeah, so in the past couple thousand years, no magic has been that powerful. No spell, I should say, has been that powerful. Mel, if you want to get some really crazy lore nerd stuff, check out the history of the Netherese. There is some really crazy stuff there. And like the goddess of magic and how we got a new one.
I know what I'm doing after this.
D&D lore is amazing.
I can spend hours.
Yeah, like I literally spent months, if not years, just all of my listening time. Mr. Rex and AJ Pickett are my go-tos for any YouTube content lore. But yeah, all right. So you have outfitters, clothiers, supplies. First off, does anyone else have any other questions, any other research that you wanted to do? We're still going off of these rolls, so basic questions you can find answers to, but anything more detailed, probably not. But is there any other basics that you all wanted to learn about?
Is there a way to differentiate between a demon and a devil? Like, how can you look and, like, is there a visible or easy way to tell?
Generally speaking...
Sorry.
No, you're good. Generally speaking, demons are far more animalistic. Pure chaotic creatures, right? They're unlikely to be wearing armor, they're unlikely to be carrying weapons. Now, on the other hand, if you see an armed and armored individual walking around, that's probably a devil. Demons could care less about protecting themselves, while devils have a job to do, and they need to make sure that they can do it. And they can't do it if they're missing an arm. So...
Are devils more likely to be reasoned with?
Very much so.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you can convince them that they're getting the better of the deal.
This is a lot, guys. I've got, like, goosebumps right now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Now, you can make deals with both, though, right? Or is it just the devils?
Only a fool would try to make a deal with a demon.
Gotcha.
So you can certainly try.
I just wanted to make sure that there. I knew there was a difference between the two. I just couldn't remember if you actually could with the other or not.
Yeah. Some of the greatest calamities that have ever befallen Faerun have happened because somebody thought that they could get the better deal, the better end of a deal with a demon lord.
Yeah.
All right, so shopping. You all have lots of money. Candlekeep has lots of cool shit. Let's bust out the sane magical item prices, and you all can spend as much of that gold as you want to.
One thing that I want to also do, Candlekeep obviously has ample religious individuals in it.
Oh, yes.
Do we want to collect some holy water?
Yes.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I will admit, part of me was also kind of contemplating the potential uses if, assuming Ferris still has that catapult spell ready, of launching that at a whole
Yep.
Okay.
little extra battering damage whenever it hits, then that little flash damage on whoever's around.
Indeed.
But yeah, the actual price list thing is probably not going to be bad to look at either.
It is pinned, but I'll go ahead and copy it right now. There is the same magical items list. Yeah, we do use these. And the way that, just as a reminder, the way that I like to do the shopping for items like this at places that have lots of magic lying around, the rarer the item is, the less likely they are to just have it here for you to buy. If it's a common magic item, they will have it. If it is an uncommon magic item, there's a 50-50 chance. If it is a rare, there's a 25% chance, and it goes up and up from there depending on the item, of the chance that they'll just have it here ready to go.
Yeah.
Any sort of mundane gear of any kind you can purchase here.
How much money do we have to work with?
We have 3,548 gold and 120 silver.
Bucky plate armor?
I mean, I wouldn't say
Listen, plate
no.
armor?
I heard you asking the amount that you had, and that is what I heard.
Well,
Alright.
it's more so like, obviously that's not enough for everybody to go buy something.
True. Yeah, magic items are fucking expensive.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
We don't necessarily need to all get something. I don't think I can't think of anything that I would.
Yeah, the idea that everybody gets an item out of this is not a thing.
Does
Yeah.
Candlekeep not allow us to requisition, or is it strictly buy?
Strictly buy. No one's expecting you to come back.
Oh, well, fuck you too.
Yeah, Winnie doesn't need much, so y'all go ham.
Quick question back on our little lore dump. Abyssal or Infernal? Which one do devils speak?
Devils speak infernal, demons speak abyssal.
Got it.
And I myself can't speak infernal.
I
And
speak
can
abyssal.
speak Abyssal.
Hey,
So-
convenient.
You can cuss out the demons, and Tibbs can make deals with the devils. Good stuff. I would like to purchase a 10-foot pole.
Oh my god, is that priced in the item guide?
I don't know, but I want one.
Oh,
It's in the player handbook, I think.
nice.
Interest you in a 6-foot pole. Jeez.
So,
I'm trying to find the
what are
10-foot
we trying
poles.
to buy?
Half of the woodland is 44,000. Oh my.
Yeah.
I do not see what I'm looking for. So
That's not in there. I'm finding it. It's 5 copper pieces.
that's what I would like.
It's just a fucking pole. It's just a 10-foot wooden pole.
Tie it to the end of your glaive.
Oh, it's right. I could just use my fucking glaive to test things, couldn't I? No, I don't want to hurt my glaive.
Oh, damn.
Truth be told, potentially the...
Oh, who doesn't have night vision?
Tibbs.
I
Fuck you.
do not have night vision, but the mace I have does produce light in a...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Because the goggles of night are only 1,500.
Lucky doesn't, but I don't know if we want to spend that much
All
money
the
on
stuff I want is really expensive.
Same.
Crap.
I just want protection items and stuff to get my wisdom up.
I was
What is Trident?
thinking
Oh,
of the
never mind.
Rod or the Gem of Seeing, but they're both wildly expensive.
I was looking at stuff like Chime of Opening, since we
That's
don't
good.
have like a dedicated rogue.
Scrolls
Actually,
and potions are excellent
Actually, you do.
things to consider.
I am a rogue.
Oh, that is true.
I have proficiency and I have the tools.
And there is also the fact that our artificer has proficiency in thieves' tools as well.
I
And
also
if that
have
fails-
proficiency in thieves' tools.
Anna, I
And
totally
that-
forgot that you
I
multi-classed
take it
in a
back.
rogue.
Yes.
And if that fails, I have a portable ram.
Oh, is there a portable hole? Those are always handy. Bag of
Those are
holding.
fun.
Shit. Give me something, Sean.
So if I was in this position and I had about 3k gold to spend, if nobody wanted the Goggles of Night, then I would be looking at potions, healing potions, the big boys, and spell scrolls for like greater resto and things like that, so you don't have to spend spell slots on them.
Good call.
And of course, plate armor for your paladin would be.
Yeah, plate armor for the paladin might be nice.
That's
These-
1,500 gold. Though.
Yeah, that is a
Oh,
huge investment. So that is
Well,
really
Half our gold.
yeah.
You're investing in the paladin who can do the smite bumps. I think
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, it's only +1 to my AC.
Oh, is it really?
It's only +1. I'm
Oh,
already
that's
at Splint Veil.
I don't know if that's worth the 15.
No,
at that
especially.
Yeah, I was here for you, man.
point.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool, but if it only gives you +1, you can get that extra +1 from a buff.
Praying real hard.
I have a
No,
+2 shield as well. Like,
That's
Yeah,
right.
no.
That's right. Guard the
Yeah.
fucking the shield is getting you up there.
Theoretically,
yeah, I'm already at a 21.
Then
Yeah.
I suggest what LaShawn said. Let's get some healing stuff, resto, and can we afford a bag of holding?
I hold these.
Haversack.
Haversack of holding?
It's no, it's what, handy haversack. Isn't that like the budget bag of holding?
Wrist pocket? I don't know.
Wrist pocket. Oh,
they-
that is so gross. I hate it.
It does
Haversack
sound
is-
lewd.
Let me reach into my flesh pocket.
2,000.
God,
How much is a bag of holding?
I'm
That's
checking
what I'm
right
looking
now.
at.
It's
4,000.
pricey. Yeah.
4K.
Yes, the haversack is half that.
What if I promise to pray for everybody? Like, will that get us a discount?
Actually, I do have one quick question.
Sure.
It states adamantine armor, the price is 500.
500 on top of the price of whatever the item would have been before.
So for an adamantine breastplate, it would be 900 total, but I could possibly well, what do I have to trade in?
Anything that you trade in
Yeah.
gets you half of its original value.
I know what I want to buy. I want to buy on a necklace of fireballs.
Ah.
Well, the problem is fireballs aren't going to be that useful against
I
fiends and
know.
devils.
This is the haversack description.
E.
That's a lot. And that's 2,000 gold.
If they even have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rare, so we would have to see.
Yeah, we'll give the handy haversack a 50% chance of being here. Does somebody want to roll to see if it's here before you try to make any further decisions?
Who wants to roll it?
D100, and somebody can pick a 50 number range.
If I roll it, does someone want to pick the range?
I'm debating picking something odd just so Sean has a headache.
I was thinking like 10 to 60.
10 to 60.
Could just do all odd numbers or.
Oh, what the fuck? that's getting creative.
Odds or evens.
I mean, hey, it's still 50-50
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah.
So I'll call it all. If it lands even, then it's there.
Okay.
All right, rolling.
Hey!
Ooh, we got it.
All right, so it is here if you
Double
also choose
evens?
to buy it.
Double even
evens.
numbers because is it half price? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, also today's date is the 22nd, and I rolled a 22.
That's a lot of 20.
Yeah, it's two. All the twos. Are we getting into numerology here?
I feel like this is one of those things where we buy one and then it accidentally comes with two, where it's like,
I'll tell you what. We'll give it a 22% discount.
Buy one get one free.
So that's good. I think I'd take that.
Oh, I was just being silly, but okay, I'll take it.
I don't even know what we're buying, but
It's basically we can hold a lot of stuff inside this backpack.
Okay.
How are we doing on potions? Like healing potions?
Healing potions. I think everyone has some, and then we have 3 in the party loot.
Yeah,
I've
but
got
we can.
3 on me.
I have 2 on me.
2 what? I'm sorry?
Healing
healing
potion.
potions.
Let me check mine.
I'll check what I've got. I think I still have.
I'm just going down the list here
I have
looking at what
5
jumped out.
still.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
yeah. We bought some not that long ago.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I got 3, but some more, especially at higher levels, averages the 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, these are all
Yeah.
regular ones.
Yeah, those
these are
ones
the-
don't go very far.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions on some consumables here.
Okay.
The first one I think will be an easier question. So, can I get a spell scroll that would be for in the instance where I need to summon my cannon for the second time in a day? Would I be able to use a scroll as basically like, okay, here's using one of my spell slots? Or does the scroll have to be of a specific spell? From the spell list when
My brain
pick it?
short-circuited. Start over, please.
So you can use a spell slot to summon the cannon after you've already summoned it once. So he's asking if you can use a scroll instead of a spell slot.
Summon the cannon.
Yes.
No.
Okay, so it does have to be a specific spell from the spell book then. Okay.
It's literally the first time anyone's asked me that. I've run for like 8 artificers, and that's the first time anyone's asked that.
That actually is. I was actually thinking, dear God, that's a genius question.
Yeah, right. I'm like, what? So it's because casting your I say
Well,
casting.
It makes sense.
Summoning it is not a spell, right? It's a class ability.
But once you do it, you can dismiss it. You can do it again, but it requires a slot.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. I
But
wasn't sure how
basically-
that worked.
Basically, 1 summon per day is for free. The rest work like Paladin Smites, where it burns the spell slot.
I like the idea. Like, I like where your head's at with that. I am
I
inclined.
can see why it wouldn't work, but
I am inclined to give you an opportunity to have it work, but have it be funny if you fail. So let me get back to you on that, and we'll see what we can work out. Like, I'm thinking something along the lines of when you finish a long rest, you can attempt to store 1 summoning, or attempt an Arcana check to summon without costing a spell slot. But if you fail, then you have burned the spell slot and not summoned the cannon. That's the first thing my mind goes to when I'm thinking about something like that. But to answer your original question, no, you cannot use spell scrolls to summon your cannon.
You summon someone else's cannon, and it doesn't.
You summon a chaotic cannon that has no affiliations and attacks at random.
He summons
it
Spot.
comes from a random plane. It might be hostile.
Someone else's cannon. Some
He
artificer
summons-
somewhere is like, what the fuck?
Murray. No, he summons Murray's cannon. He summons Spot. He's just like,
Man,
oh.
I thought that was going to be the easy question. The second question is, do any of these consumable healing potions are any of them a like a group healing or AoE healing in any way, shape, or form?
No, but you could get spell scrolls of things like Mass Cure Wounds. Or
I
Mass
think we
Healing Word.
should get a few of something like that.
On that subject, not that Bucky himself would ever be terribly worried about it, but do we need diamonds and things?
Yes.
Huh?
You need
Resurrection.
diamonds
Yeah,
to bring people back to life.
you do, in fact. That's actually a good point. Ferris, we are starting to get into phases where your spells will have material components that have gold values to them. We talked about this quickly during session 0, but we'll reiterate it now. Anytime that you're casting a spell that has an M next to it for material, if that material component has a gold price attached to it, you have to pay that gold. You have to pay that gold if the item is consumed by the spell. There are certain spells that you can cast that only require you to have the item and it is not consumed. You only need to spend that gold once. But the diamond is a perfect example of that. If you are going to cast Revivify, you need that diamond. Sometimes I will say, like, oh, we have 300 gold and we just forgot to buy a diamond at the last diamond store. I will say, cool, you didn't forget, you did, but you needed to have that gold. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we should always have some gold stored away.
Right. Or you can buy the diamonds and not have to worry about it. Because if you were in a situation where it's like, oh, well, you haven't been to anywhere that sells diamonds in a month, then I would say that that's not going to do it. So,
Alright.
buy
So,
diamonds
like,
when you can, but I am lenient when it comes to opportunities that you would have been able to and players forgot, right? That's something that I always try to do. Like, things that your character would have remembered, I try not to ever punish a player for not remembering something that their character would have remembered, right? This is this is one of those situations.
Now, this is specifically for for things that say like it needs a gem or like high value, kind of like on my homunculus, it needs to be made from something of value of, I think it was 100, whatever.
Yeah, like a gemstone of a certain amount.
Yeah,
Is
so
there
like heat metal, it says like you need a piece of iron and a flame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stuff like that. There's no gold value attached to the iron, right? It says just a piece of iron and flame.
Yeah.
So then you wouldn't need to spend anything for that, or have the material components on hand.
Okay, gotcha. Same thing with like shatter. It just says a chip of mica.
Right. Like I have some players that like the minutia of tracking like spell components and things like that, and to them I say have at it, but I do not require it of anyone.
Gotcha.
Are there any spell scrolls of mass heal wounds?
Spell scrolls can be purchased at list price. So if you look at the
Oh, I didn't see mass cure wounds.
yes, it's just spell scrolls and then level spells. So spell scroll first level, second level, third level. So just look at what mass cure wounds is, and that'll give you your price. Spell scroll.
640.
So spell
Those are
scroll
fifth
level
level.
5 is 640 gold. Yep.
Now,
That
can we
is-
cast 5th level spells?
I tend to be more lenient with spell scrolls, and if you are of a caste that can cast it, even if you can't cast 5th level spells yet. But I have been accused of accused is the wrong word. I have been informed that is kind of game breaking. So I think there's a mechanic for it that I liked about having to use an Arcana check whenever you're casting a spell of a higher level than you have spell slots for, which I like. And the DC is 10 plus the level of the spell you're casting.
Mass healing word is only level 3. Can
Perfect.
anyone cast level 3 spells?
Not yet.
I don't think I can yet.
What level are we at right now? 5?
5?
Yeah.
God, I almost yeeted my book across the room. I went to go pull it off the shelf and it fell, and my first reaction was just fling it as far as you fucking can for some reason.
We could always buy one and then just one more us levels up to the point of being able to, for sure, use it, then let's use it then.
I think 6th level is when you get access to 3rd level spells, and it does appear that we are still a ways away from 6th level.
Okay.
Yeah, starting the adventure. Yeah, starting the adventure with the prequel has us spend a long time at certain levels. It's gonna be interesting when we get up into the higher levels, because like the levels come super fast at the end. But not for now. Not right now. You're all gonna be level 5 for a little while longer.
Should we maybe buy 1 or 2 revivify scrolls then, if we can cast a 3rd level spell from a scroll?
That might actually be a better option than mass healing.
Ooh.
Hold on.
It would essentially be 500 gold to just have diamonds in a scroll ready to go.
Whoa, what is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, yeah. 300 gold diamond.
Okay. Alright.
So what are we buying so far?
Yeah.
The
let's get
haversack
list.
is 1560 with our 22% discount.
Was that a no on the spell scroll?
You can purchase
Are we
spell
going
scrolls.
with 3rd level or 5th level?
3rd level?
For
Which was
master,
how
yeah, you can't buy a spell scroll of an upcast spell. So if you're gonna buy Mass Cure Wounds, then it would just be 3rd level.
That's okay with y'all?
Yeah.
You want to get 1 or 2 of those?
I would say 2. Mass Cure, we're gonna need heals, y'all.
Yeah, Mass Cure Wounds is
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
good.
Oh,
but
Mass Cure Wounds was the 5th level one. What was that 3rd level one
Mass
that you mentioned?
healing.
Oh, Mass
Healing
Healing
word.
Word. Okay.
Mass
that's
healing word
only
is
a D4 though.
Yeah, Mass Healing Word is the oh shit button when a bunch of your party members are down.
Yeah, that's very expensive for like actually party healing.
Yeah, Mass Cure Wounds is the party heal.
yeah, but that one's 5th level. Are we able to get that and upcast it?
No, you can't upcast it. Oh, I get what you mean.
Because it's a 5th level
right,
spell.
so
We don't
you would
even know
need-
it yet.
You would need to make an Arcana check, the caster. So this is where it gets
Okay.
weird, right? So the caster would have to make an Arcana check of 10 plus the spell's level. Now that often means that a cleric is going to have to try a DC 15 Arcana check. Because the artificer, the artificer could, right? The Mass Cure Wounds is an artificer spell.
No, it's
Is it
a cleric. Hold
Do
on.
artificers
Cleric,
get access
druid,
to it?
and something else.
Okay, because that is one of
Bard,
the rules
cleric,
that
and druid.
Okay, so that is one of the rules that I do respect, is you can only cast spells of the spell type that you would have been able to cast as your class. So that so that basically falls onto the cleric to have to make a DC 15 Arcana check or just fizzle the spell scroll.
We could also buy Prayer of Healing scrolls. 2nd level spell, 2d8 plus spell casting ability.
It just takes 10
Only
minutes to
downside
cast.
it's a 10-minute.
Yeah.
And is that a spell that Bucky already has access to?
No,
That's
it's
the cleric spell.
But then Anna would be able to cast that without having to make a check.
Wait. Actually, what I'm thinking, it's a different type of paladin. That's what I'm thinking of. I think the Devotion Paladin gets that as one of their spell. That's what I was thinking of. My apologies.
The only thing that concerns me with prayer of healing is the 10-minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cast.
but realistically, you don't get good, like, party healing.
No.
This is accurate. Yeah, Prayer of Healing is just like the, oh shit, we got fucked up in that last fight, but we're still in the middle of a dungeon.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get a few of those, but we need something that we can do, like, mid-battle to cure everyone. Like, bring everyone back up if anyone's down, bring anyone up that's low that we can get. That's what I'm concerned about, is how can we, in a oh shit moment when one is down, 2 are about to go down, what can we do to get everyone at least up and somewhere where we can continue fighting.
I take it there's shops and stuff in Avernus then.
Do we really want to be buying from devils?
I mean,
Healing magic from
When in
hell
Rome.
does not sound like a great idea, I'll be honest.
I mean, if
From
we
the
need it
people
over
that
there,
brought our
we need it over
home.
there.
Down.
My Arcana is not great, guys.
I
I have expertise in religion and intimidation.
So let's just do the prayer of healing for now.
I would
Anna?
just wait till wasted on you.
Yeah, Anna should be getting, because you took one. When are you taking your next level in? At sick for our 6th level, cleric or rogue?
I was going to do rogue, but I can.
No, do rogue.
No.
No, do what you want to do. But we still have prayer of healing, which we can always use after the battle. So
I do think at least one Revivify with the diamonds is good to just have on hand too.
Yes.
Yeah.
when revivify is what
do-
level spell?
3rd.
I do have Spare the Dying, guys, as a cantrip. And I've got. Nope, I do not have. I have Cure Wounds level 1. I've got shit.
I will
Sorry.
forever laud the benefits of a grave cleric and their ranged Spare the Dying.
I can't wait to play a grave cleric.
So good.
Ranged bonus action.
Raised bonus actions, Spare the Dying. Nobody's dying on your watch. It is so good. So good.
Stupidly good.
Yeah. I played a Grave Cleric in Tomb of Annihilation, and people were like, why would you do a Grave Cleric in Tomb of Annihilation? One of their big things is being able to bring people back from the dead easily. I'm like, well, one of their other big things is making people not die. And if we can't bring players back, I'm going to make damn sure they don't die in the first place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like it.
Just
Also,
saying.
I have Silvery Barbs, so.
Silvery Barbs! God, I love that spell. I just love how...
It's such a good spell.
You know what I love? I love how much my players love that spell. Because, like...
It's just such a good
yeah,
spell.
like, so many DMs ban it at their tables. But, like,
Because
for
it's
me,
over-
it's like, no,
pretty
it's
powerful.
It is extremely powerful. But so many players love that spell, and so many players just love to be the one that saves their friends' asses, and it feels good. So, yeah, I love it. I like the spell.
I think it's a fantastic spell. It just adds like thematic value to it. Like,
Yep.
hell no, you ain't gonna spot my friend that hard.
Right. And it's one of the ways that players can feel super impactful without just doing damage to enemies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Players can feel like they contributed something major to the fight that wasn't just taking away at hit points. And anytime players can do that, I'm all for it.
Okay. So how many spell scrolls are we getting for level 3?
Definitely, I think it was 2 of the Healy ones, and then a Greater Resto. Does that sound right? Or 2 Greater Restos?
Prayer healing is only 2nd level.
So we're getting 2 prayer of healing scrolls and 2 revivify scrolls.
2 of each?
Alright, so let's
Revivify is essentially 500 gold a pop.
Because then we're,
Okay.
yeah.
We're gonna need it, y'all.
I'm not saying not to do it, I'm just pointing out that's 1,000 gold if we get 2.
Okay,
Which I'm all for.
we're going to hell. We can't take it with us, guys.
We're going to hell.
So, 2 spell scrolls, level 2. So that's 120 plus 20. Revivify, which is level 3. We're going to get 2 of those, so that's 400. Plus
And my
another,
gold.
Plus we need 600 gold and diamonds.
because it's 300 gold for those.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at 2,800 total. And I'm gonna put in chat right now, haversack. I'll put it in game chat, hold on. So far we have haversack, 2 level 2 spell scrolls, 2 level 3 spell scrolls, 2 300 gold piece. Nope, that's 300 gold, diamonds,
Someone remind me how much gold we actually have?
3,500.
Okay.
And that's what we're at, 2,800 right now.
All right, we're doing it.
We're doing
Let's-
it!
700 gold left over if you guys want to hold on to that for
shit.
now.
I just had like a core childhood memory unlocked. Does anyone remember the movie Angels in the Outfield?
Yes.
Yep.
He's doing
Yep.
it!
If you
He's-
build
Yep.
it, they will come.
Fucking
No,
Angels in the Outfield. Wow.
Wait, no, that's not it.
Yeah, that's
you're
that's
thinking
Field of Dreams.
Yeah, Feel the Dream. Never mind.
I'm getting like weird crossovers
Yeah.
between Hook and Angels in the Outfield right now.
And Danny Glover just like,
Oh my god, he was the coach! Oh!
yep.
He's doing it! He's believing! Oh god!
Well,
Does Anna want another potion of fire breath?
But fire is not going to do anything for us down there.
I've
It'll look
got
cool.
2 just in case.
As cool as it is, it's not going to
Listen,
help us.
I'm just gonna do it to intimidate Tiamat.
Tibbs is regretfully looking at how some of his weapons aren't going to do a whole hell of a lot.
We can silver any of your weapons that might not do as much.
Well, the thing is that a magic mace is going to do more than they would.
Okay.
So there's not really much.
Oh god.
I can silver anything overnight.
Well,
It's only
All right, everybody, let's go
100
ahead.
gold.
Let's go ahead and take our break, and when we come back, we can finalize our shopping list and continue on from there. But it is getting a little late, so let's go ahead and take our break, and we'll be back in 10.
Sorry, we're needy.
No, it's fine. This is. Trust me, I planned on this being a big part of the session. It's fine.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back. All right, so we are back, having spent several hours combing through the libraries of Candlekeep, preparing yourselves, equipping yourselves as best you can for the venture ahead. Eventually, Baldur Fisk does come to meet you all and says that Silvira believes that she has solved the puzzle box. So,
Good news or bad news?
you all will find out.
Let's find out together.
Right. So, following Ballister back up to Silvira's tower, you arrive back in there, and Silvira has the box on the table in front of her, and she has a vial of black liquid set next to it. She gestures you all in. Jezebel's on the table, kind of tinkering with things, and she sees you all and then does the thing where she folds in on herself and vanishes again. Silvira doesn't really take much notice of it, but she gestures you all in, and without looking up, she says, I have been suspicious of the High Overseer of Eltor for a long time now, but no one wanted to hear my concerns. You can hear Rhea, she was about to protest, but stopped herself. Be it with 3 or 4 days ago, she would have stood up for the man, but certainly not today. And then, so Silvira notices that, and she kind of gives Rhea a little nod. She says, I understand that Thavius Krieg was widely regarded as a hero who saved his city from an undead scourge, giving rise to the holy nation of Elturgard. Hailed as a savior, Thavius made all citizens of Elturel swear an oath. She looks towards you, Bucky. An oath called the Creed Resolute, which binds them to defend the nation of Elturgard. I met him years ago. My instincts told me he was a charlatan. Afterward, I grew to suspect that he had cut a deal with one of the more powerful devils, using the Creed Resolute to bind all Elturel to his dark deal. I wish to prove my theory, and I believe the evidence is locked inside of this box. She holds it up, looks it over a couple more times, and then pours a small amount of the dark liquid onto the box. It begins to course through, and she begins turning it so that the liquid moves through the notches and the grooves in the box as if it was going through a maze. tips the box, the liquid flows in certain directions through these maze-like patterns until the box's horn inlays pop loose, and it breaks apart. Stand by. Okay. Okay. So, inside of the box, it's a stack of 9 chain-linked plates, each 3 inch on a side, cast from dark iron and stamped with infernal runes. Sylvira gestures with her hand, and these chained blocks fly up into the air to hover in front of all of you. Sylvira begins to read. Be it known that I, Fabius Krieg, High Overseer of El Turel, have sworn to my master, Zariel, Lord of Avernus, to keep the agreements contained in this oath. I hereby submit to Zariel in all matters and for all time. I will place her above all creatures, living and dead. I will obey her all my days and beyond with fear and servility. I recognize the dispensation of the device called the Solar Insidiator, hereby called the Companion. In my capacity as High Overseer of El Turel, I and its vassal territories, I acknowledge that all lands falling under the light of the Companion are forfeit to Zariel. All persons bound by oath to defend El Turel are also considered forfeit. I further recognize that this dispensation will last 50 years, after which the Companion will return whence it came, taking El Turel and its oath-bound defenders with it, if that is Zariel's wish. All this is my everlasting pledge. Sylvira gestures again, and the chain links fall back into the box, which she then closes with a click. She looks up towards all of you. Rhea collapses onto the floor and begins to openly weep. Her hand over her head lasts for a couple seconds before she lets out a pained and angered shout, slams her fist onto the floor, and says, if Zariel wants my soul, she's welcome to try and take it. And she stands and looks towards you, Bucky, and says, we've sworn our oaths.
Why weren't we taken with everybody else then? Just simply because we weren't there?
Rhea looks towards Sylvira, and Sylvira nods.
Winnie just is like, you see her tensing up and like just fist absolutely silent, like almost shaking. She's just tensed up so hard.
There's just staring at the box with just a blank stare, his mind just picking apart what he found out about the Companion just now, and just how the fact that his dream of basically making another one to protect more people was just completely baseless.
That idiot. So he didn't just take a deal and he got tricked. He knew what he was signing when he did this.
He's known this whole time.
He didn't get played. He didn't, like... This
tricked.
wasn't just ignorance. This was very blatantly making a deal with the devil.
Rhea, with obvious hatred in her voice, says, and he fled.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvira says, I'm sure that you all are anxious to get going. I have a friend who can take you exactly where you need to go. Travel to Avernus is tricky, especially if you're trying to get to a specific spot. A wizard named Traxagor lives in a tower 20 miles west from here. I've loaned him a spellbook or two, so he owes me a favor. I can have you delivered safely to his tower, and he can use his considerable knowledge of Avernus to plane shift you straight into Elturel. Even more importantly, Traxagor is looking after an old friend of mine. Someone with a history of battling devils in the Nine Hells. I think you'll enjoy her company very much. She served with Zariel to the end and was the last surviving companion that was there that actually made it back. Her name is Lulu. Before you go, take this, and she hands you over a map. It is not to scale, she says. In fact, she says that the map might not be very reliable. Its creator went mad while making it, but it does at least tell you the different important locations. We'll be showing you all that map a little later. But then Silverius looks to you, Bucky, and then there's the matter of your shield. Bucky, immediately in your mind, the shield, the hidden lord, says, "Listen not to the witch. She will spin lies in your ears to turn you against me." As he's saying that to you, Bucky, Silvera continues, "The shield is a symbol of good's triumph over evil. Gazing at such beauty, one can easily overlook the terrible force bound within it. Gargoth is, I believe, its name." The hidden lord basically shouts towards you, Bucky, "She lies!" It is a pit fiend. This goes by the name of the hidden lord. It was sent by Asmodeus to corrupt mortals on the material plane and there to amass such a following as to rival that of gods. In that way, Gargoth, the hidden lord, became sort of a demigod. Having worshippers increased its power exponentially. My, how the mighty have fallen, haven't they? Trapped lord. At this point, the shield's surface morphs completely into this image. Damn, it's not working.
I was gonna say, what image?
Yeah,
Where?
I know.
I know.
There we go. The mouth
Oh.
begins to move and speak. And it says, "How dare you? You do not understand the power which I wield. I will see." And with that, she snaps her fingers and the mouth is just moving. The mouth is just moving and he does not, no sound comes out of him. Just, sorry about that. We should discuss without his interruption. The shield has the power to corrupt everything around it. There was a powerful family of Baldur's Gate that was recently murdered that had been protecting it for years. Doubtless, they were killed by the Van Thampers who have abducted the shield. It should be locked away in an extra-dimensional space away from corruptible souls. With that, Bucky, you hear the voice say, "I am sorry to have deceived you, but take me to the Nine Hells and I swear to serve you faithfully as both guide and advisor." It repeats the same offer to all of you.
Anna just hisses.
And he was originally a demon or devil, you said?
Devil, a pit fiend. A very powerful devil.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
I think we need to all have a conversation about this.
I think he would be... Actually, I think we should ask him what his terms are.
I know Sean has rules about fighting other players, but I'll fight you.
I'm not saying that we make a deal, I just want to make sure that he is putting more of what he wants on the table. Like, what's in it for him? Like, we need to know why he quote unquote wants to help us. Like, what does he get out of it? Because
if you want to deal with him,
then...
that's totally on you. I have a cleric who would not want to mess with that at all. So I'm taking Anna out of that equation.
Upon hearing all of this, Tibbs pulls out his mace and is now fit.
Is what?
He pulls out his magic mace and is now a little nervous about it.
So Vera would look towards you and say, "Oh, he's quite trapped."
No, he means about the mace. Is the mace also evil?
She says nothing about your mace. But Silvira does assure you that the magics that bind Gargoth are impenetrable. She looks towards him, towards the shield, who's glowering at her, and says he likely thinks that he will be able to escape when he's in Avernus. He is quite mistaken. She says, perhaps it would do better to have it there, where it's away from the corruptible. Having it in Baldur's Gate likely turned that place into more of a den of vice and misery than it was already.
Go find the deepest pit in hell we can and throw him in.
Throw him into the river Styx when we're done with him.
Maybe
That's Mel talking, not Winnie. Maybe not the river Styx, since, you know, demons come through there, but just like...
I think if anything, we would bring it back here. Like
too
she
many...
said, it should be somewhere in basically
Where it
between
can't hurt
dimensions.
anybody. Yeah.
And who are better to get it there, probably with our supervision, of course, than
I don't
somebody
know.
here.
I mean, yes,
he
but...
would begin kind of whispering to all of you. Not like whispering, but like pleading his case. He would say that none know the Nine Hells better than him. His deal is simple. Take him with you, and he will not betray you. That is where his deal ends. He says he is willing to accept any terms that you set forward, as long as you take him to hell. He says that
we
none
can take him to hell.
Says that none know the Nine Hells better than he. Their customs, their traditions, pitfalls.
Mel talking? I think we should totally take him, but we don't tell him what we're gonna do with him.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely want to take him.
Yeah,
But like also I think everyone would be a little wary about just saying, "Yeah, sure, come along."
I think we definitely would need to hammer out.
Don't want. Go ahead.
So I think we would need to hammer out, like, for real deal, like, you cannot attack us. You cannot do anything to us. You will aid us at any point in time that you are asked, or it is implied that we
Nothing
need
that
it.
results in the harm towards us or our loved ones. Also,
Well,
Bucky
how
cannot
about
be
we start
corrupted.
with this? Can we just go have him put somewhere where we can talk privately? Since apparently, right now he's listening to everything we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
So I think we need to go sit down away from him and have a real conversation about what we're gonna do. Frankly, I'm tired of hearing him whisper about trying to talk us into this.
And he would have stopped when you said that. Anybody proficient in insight?
I am. No, I'm not.
What?
Am I? Yes, I am.
His pleading bleeds desperation.
I am proficient.
I am-
in
Oh,
insight.
actually, I am as well.
Insight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also.
All of you would see that.
Okay.
He's a little whiny boy.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we can definitely take advantage to even set it up to where, I mean,
Oh, we're
one of
putting
the
him in
conditions-
timeout to send a message.
Well, one of the conditions can even be, too, that if he is freed, ever, that he cannot enter the mortal plane. I mean, that right there is like a cosmic deal that just straight up, I mean, all we have to do is literally walk him into a different plane, and he can never be a problem
Yeah.
for
Literally
the mortal
could
plane.
Literally could toss him into Avernus and no longer an issue.
All right, game's won. We won, guys. Great.
Does she have any more information on his history? Like, who sealed him?
The Hewn family, a family of knights. Very powerful. Their line has diminished a bit. But they're the ones who captured him. The ones who were in charge of protecting him were recently found murdered.
Which checks out. They were...
The Van Thampers had it, yeah.
And he probably was telling the truth when they said they were hoping to use him as a
Conduit
or tether to Avernus.
Right.
Which it makes more sense knowing that he is actually a devil.
Yeah.
Fiend.
Okay.
So, our terms are what? He can come with. He can never return.
And he has our back no matter what. Even if we aren't the ones to release him.
He would agree to any terms you put forward with the exception of him being your servant afterwards.
I'm not saying servant.
Right.
I'm saying he just, like, even if some other pit fiend or some other person other than us is able to free him when he's with us, or even after he's with us, he never turns his back on us since we are the ones that brought him back to his home.
He agrees.
I was saying that to the rest of the party,
Okay.
not to him.
Got it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm like, he cannot turn his back on us. He's not a servant, but he is a compatriot.
So I think the terms I will give him are he's never to return to this plane if he is free. He is never to take any sort of dangerous or aggressive or harmful action towards any of us, any of the people of El Terrell, or any of our allies.
Okay.
Gonna spitball an idea out here. Would it be possible to make part of the deal is he would be a protector of the mortal plane?
I think that's getting too
I am not giving him a
sovereignty.
route back to this plane.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah, that,
Yeah,
and I
it
think
was
that's
just
getting too
popcorn.
much.
Yeah, he would be very
Too much
easy to
into
him
the
to be like, well, I
servant.
had to come back to protect the people.
Yeah.
No, we're not giving him an easy out.
No. But I like he can't attack, like, cause harm to us, any of our loved ones, any of the people of El Terrell, or as here he has seen, friends.
Anna's gonna be walking up to every single person she meets, says, "I love you. I love you."
But
Okay.
It sounds like we have the terms I would take to him. Anybody want to add anything else?
Seems pretty solid.
All right.
Whatever influence he had to corrupt, he does not do that to Bucky.
Just in
Oh.
general.
And would the people of Candlekeep, with all their knowledge, have any suggestions for ways he might try to get out of this, or things we should be wary
he's a
of?
devil, remember. If we make the deal, it's
I am asking
binding.
experts.
We read that in a book.
So to get there would be magics powerful enough to get him out. They would be wielded by gods, demigods, or archdukes of Avernus.
But the thing is given the rather hierarchical system there, would they want to release a potential competitor?
Because he would be above them, wouldn't he?
Or either equal to or above, probably.
Unless
Well, if
part
he
of the deal was that
swears
he
to-
would be subservient to them.
Well, if he swears to not attack us or take aggressive action towards us, frankly, if they set him free, all he's going to do is go cause chaos.
for them.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So I don't really care.
Yeah. How would that work if they free him and they're like, get them, and he's like, nah, these are my homies, they brought me here.
Yeah, can we ask him if he has any other deals that are current with anybody or groups or anything in Avernus?
So you've taken these terms to him?
I would, unless anybody has anything else they want to add or discuss beforehand.
I would ask him that question just to be sure before we bring our terms to him.
He would
Okay,
say
sir.
that he does not have any other binding deals. No contracts withstanding.
Insight. Is he telling the truth?
What?
23.
Damn.
He does not appear to be lying.
I just nod at Bucky and Ferris.
There's Nas
All right.
Bucky.
We'll take you with, but you're to take no aggressive action towards any of us, either before or after someone potentially frees you. No action against El Terrell or its people, and you're never to come back to the material plane.
He agrees to the terms.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that we just made a deal with the devil.
I mean, we can't leave him here.
Yeah.
That's Mel talking. Winnie is
Yeah,
just ready to go to Avernus.
The nice thing is, I mean, there's literally nothing on us within that deal. He doesn't get anything out of it. Unless there's something that we weren't told.
He
Unless
gets
we
what
free
he
him.
wants.
Yeah.
He gets exactly what he wants.
Well, he gets what he wants, but it doesn't
He gets-
like negatively affect us. You know what I mean?
Remember.
Like-
Oh, you finished. I'm sorry.
But like, you know, like as far as I know, we're not trading our souls or anything like that, or you know, for this deal or anything that I'm aware of.
That
No,
and
our-
oh,
Sorry.
sorry. You go first.
I want to say our side of the deal is we're taking him with us.
Yeah.
And it's pretty agreed upon. The best thing we can do is get him away from people.
That, and then also like, I forget what the person that we're talking to right now is. Her name is
Silvira.
the Tiefling. What is that?
Silvira.
Silvira.
Silvira. So Silvira said that even it being in Avernus and being in the Nine Hells again isn't gonna make whatever bonds keeping him in the shield weaker. But he thinks that. He thinks it's gonna help. But it's not. So we're still like, and this is again Mel talking, not Winnie. We're in the power position for now until we run into someone that can free him.
Yeah, I suppose if somebody has magic to free him from the shield, they probably have magic to free him from our power deal too. Then.
Anna doesn't think there is such a thing as a power position when dealing with these things. They're tricky liars, and
Winnie doesn't either, but Mel's saying right now, with the knowledge we have, with the item that's been given to us, we are somewhat in a power position if we do not run into any solar, planetar, or archdevils well down there. Which I'm having a feeling we're probably going to run into a few archdevils.
Well, what's nice with having him there too is, like, I mean, like he offered, nobody's gonna know Avernus better than him, at least as far as being able to help us. And I mean, he could definitely give us hints along the way, like, hey, we're approaching the territory of this so-and-so demon. Here's what he's good at. You know, I mean, I think he'd be great for pre-battle planning when possible.
was part of the condition for him to help us while we're down there.
Mm-hmm. He
Okay.
offered his help.
He
Okay.
did. Yeah, he said.
Yeah, that was one of his things.
His condition was his whole thing that he said is that he would serve you. He would serve you as guide and advisor.
Okay.
Were his words.
But we never
I mean-
promised to free him. We just promised to take him down there.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, if he causes issues and acts up, we give him to him.
He acts up.
We just give him to an imp, and now he's an imp's plaything.
Oh,
I will turn this shield around.
Can you imagine how degrading that would be for a pit fiend to be the toy of a little imp?
So did we make this deal with him?
sounds like it. Okay. So, with that, all of you ready to go, Silvira ushers you to a crescent-shaped landing platform in one of the higher towers of Exaltation. Waiting for you atop this platform are several griffins with saddles, their handlers standing nearby to help you. Silvira says, these griffins have instructions to fly you to Traxcor's tower. Don't worry, it's perfectly safe. Are you all ready to go to the tower?
Before we go, can I give her slobber chops?
She
I'm not
smiles
taking him with her.
and says that
Well,
Jezebel has a thing for cats. Not really a fan, and cats don't really like her very much, but Traxicor might be willing to take him on.
Just keep him safe.
Good. And a good family. Okay. And
Winnie's coming back for him.
Oh,
That's her
God.
cat now.
So yeah, she says that she can't take him, but Traxicor is likely to.
But that's the guy we're going to go see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just put slobber chops back on my shoulder and I just give him a pat and another piece of bacon.
Okay.
And I hop on a griffin.
I think as Ferris is boarding one of the griffins, he'd ask, what's her name again? Silvera?
Mm-hmm.
He asked her, well, now that we know about the companion, were there any signs?
She shakes her head and says all she had was her hunch. Never any proof until now. And with that, the griffins take flight and head out to sea. Flying just below the clouds, Candlekeep looks no less majestic from the air, but grows smaller as the griffins soar westward. Large rocky islands pass below you, and beyond them lies the open sea. After a long journey, you see a windowless, doorless stone tower, which somehow floats in the sky ahead. Griffins pass through jagged holes, riddling the tower's conical peak to land on the top floor below. It has a spiral staircase leading downward. And this is where we will pick up next week.
No.
No combat.